Welcome back, listeners. Ready to dive into something totally unique?
I'm ready. What we got?
We're taking a look at Neon Kabuki, a cyberpunk elegy of duality and desire.
Neon Kabuki. Okay, I'm intrigued.
It mashes up, get this, traditional Japanese geisha music and cyberpunk.
Wow, now that's a combo I wouldn't have thought of.
Right, totally different vibes, but somehow it works.
I'm picturing cherry blossoms in a neon-drenched city.
Exactly. And to add another layer, it's all AI generated.
Oh, wow. The AI angle definitely adds a whole other dimension to this.
For sure. And the group performing it, TATANKA Orchestra Americana, they're known for really pushing boundaries.
Yeah, they're all about inclusivity and giving a platform to marginalized artists, which is really cool.
So before we get into TATANKA and the AI stuff, let's unpack the core theme of Neon Kabuki.
I'm all ears.
Duality. It's everywhere in this piece.
Okay, duality like two sides of the same coin.
Exactly. It's tradition versus transformation, the divine feminine battling it out with the divine masculine.
Elegance versus chaos, past versus future. I'm starting to see it.
And it's not just in the lyrics, but the whole cyberpunk aesthetic.
Oh yeah, cyberpunk is all about those stark contrasts, right?
Think Blade Runner-esque dystopia with those flashing neon lights, and then layer in elements of ancient Japanese art and mythology.
It's like they've taken two completely opposite worlds and slammed them together.
Right. And then you get to the lyrics, which are a whole journey in themselves.
Oh, I bet. Cyberpunk lyrics can be super intense.
There's this one line, "Fate struck my eyes, true kaleidoscope sunset." It's like beautiful, but kind of unsettling at the same time.
I can see that. Yeah, cyberpunk often walks that line between beauty and danger, makes you question what's real.
Exactly. Then there's another line where serpents hum truth and shadows weave need. It's so cryptic.
Ooh, that sounds like some deep cyberpunk mythology.
Right, like some ancient proverb hidden in a digital jungle.
Love that imagery. Okay, what else have we got?
Okay, brace yourself. Mythos is gauze-wrapped torqued marble at midnight, waterless torture, and thin-stretched nightshade wine.
Whoa, that's limited, like a fever dream in words.
I know, right? And it keeps going. Infinite elegance live in you, warfuck one. Underground glamour leap into Moonman.
Wow, okay, they definitely didn't hold back with the language.
Cyberpunk loves to push the boundaries, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Challenging norms and all that.
Totally, and those lines seem to be playing with power dynamics, identity, maybe even gender roles.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
So we've got cyberpunk, Japanese tradition, this whole duality thing going on. But what about the human element?
Ah, good point. It can't all be dystopian landscapes and robots.
Right. That's where 𝗧𝗎 comes in. She's this fictional character at the center of Neon Kabuki, and her story is really powerful.
Okay, tell me about 𝗧𝗎.
She's a multiracial artist, trying to make it in the music world, but never quite fitting in.
I can relate to that feeling of not quite belonging.
Right. And for 𝗧𝗎, it's not just her music, but her whole identity, trying to figure out who she is in a world obsessed with labels.
Makes sense, especially in the music industry, where image is everything.
And then she hears TATANKA Orchestra Americana's call for voices beyond borders.
Oh, with their tagline, "Tradition meets the future. We see you."
Yes. It's like they're throwing out a lifeline, saying, hey, you belong here.
It must have been a breath of fresh air for 𝗧𝗎.
Totally. So she joins up with them and gets ready to perform Neon Kabuki.
Okay, I'm picturing the scene, neon lights, this amazing orchestra, and 𝗧𝗎 pouring her heart out.
Right. It's this incredible fusion of her heritage, her experiences, and the futuristic sounds of the music.
It's like this beautiful collision of worlds, mirroring all the themes we've been talking about.
Exactly. It's like her too muchness is finally celebrated, not silenced.
And that right there is the power of inclusive spaces, isn't it? Making people feel seen and heard.
Absolutely. And that's something TATANKA does so well, especially with her unique approach to AI.
All right, let's talk about that AI aspect. What makes their approach so unique?
It's not just about using AI to create music. It's about using it to empower artists like 𝗧𝗎.
Right. It's like they're using AI to break down barriers, not create new ones.
Exactly. So they're not just feeding data into a machine and hoping for the best.
No, they're using AI as a collaborator, bringing together human musicians with this AI-generated music.
That's such a cool concept, like a conversation between different forms of intelligence.
And different ways of experiencing the world, which can lead to some really unexpected and creative results.
It's like saying the future of music isn't about humans versus machines.
It's about finding ways to work together, to create something new and exciting.
Okay, so we've talked about duality, cyberpunk aesthetics, 𝗧𝗎's story, but let's zoom in on the music itself for a bit.
Sounds good. What are some of the technical aspects of the AI-generated music that stand out to you?
Well, one thing that's immediately apparent is the complexity. It's like this dense tapestry of sound with layers upon layers of melody, harmony, and rhythm.
It's not music you can just passively listen to, is it?
Definitely not background music. It demands your attention, makes you want to analyze every note.
I can imagine. And what's even more remarkable is that the AI seems to be able to create this complexity while still maintaining a sense of emotional depth.
Right. There are moments of beauty, fragility. Then suddenly it shifts to raw power and intensity.
It's like the AI has managed to tap into a whole range of human emotions.
And that's what sets TATANKA's approach apart.
They're not just letting the AI run wild, they're actively shaping the creative process, ensuring that the music reflects their artistic vision.
So it's still a human-driven process, even with the AI involved.
Absolutely. And that's what makes 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓 so compelling. It's a testament to the power of collaboration between humans and AI.
It's like a glimpse into a future where technology and human creativity work hand in hand.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but what does it all mean for us? What can we learn from 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓 that we can apply to our own lives?
That's the big question, isn't it? For me, 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓 reminds us that the future isn't predetermined.
We have a say in how it unfolds, through our choices and actions.
Exactly. And it shows us a future where technology and tradition can coexist.
Where diverse voices are celebrated and creativity flourishes in new and unexpected ways.
It's a future where the lines between human and machine, past and present, east and west, are constantly being blurred and redefined.
And that's happening right now, all around us. It's exciting and a little bit scary, all at the same time.
Definitely a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Speaking of thinking about things, there's one more layer we haven't really touched on yet.
What's that?
The ethical side of AI-generated music.
Ah, yes, that's a crucial part of this whole conversation.
As AI gets more advanced, we have to ask ourselves some tough questions.
Like, what does it mean for human creativity if machines can compose music that's indistinguishable from human-made music?
Right. And who owns the copyright to AI-generated music? The programmer, the performer, or even the AI itself?
These are complex issues with no easy answers.
But that's exactly why we need to be talking about them. It's not just about ignoring the issues. It's about having these conversations and figuring out how to navigate this new terrain.
Exactly, and I think that's what TATANKA is doing with 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓𝗓. They're putting it out there and letting us grapple with these questions.
They're not afraid of the complexity, which I really respect.
And it's not just a philosophical debate. It has real-world implications for artists and the music industry as a whole.
Absolutely. And that brings us back to 𝗧𝗓𝗧𝗓. Her story is so intertwined with these bigger questions about technology and art.
Right. She's this multiracial artist trying to find her place in a world that's rapidly changing.
And 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓 becomes this platform for her voice, her experiences. It adds another layer of meaning to the whole thing.
And that's what's so exciting about AI and art, the potential to create new forms of expression, new ways of storytelling.
It's not about technology replacing human creativity. It's about expanding the possibilities.
Who knows what amazing art forms will emerge as humans and AI continue to collaborate.
We could see virtual reality concerts where the music responds to the audience's emotions in real time.
Imagine AI collaborators helping us to overcome creative blocks and unlock new levels of artistic expression.
The possibilities are mind-blowing. 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓𝗓 feels like a glimpse into that future, where the lines between technology and art become increasingly blurred.
It's a future full of both possibilities and challenges, which is both exciting and a little daunting.
But ultimately, it's a future that we get to shape.
We have the power to influence the direction of technology and make sure it serves humanity.
And that's what makes 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓𝗓 such a powerful piece of art. It's a call to action, an invitation to engage with these questions.
So as we wrap up, I want to ask you, what will your contribution be?
How will you use your creativity, your voice, to shape this future?
The possibilities are endless.
Maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into your creative work.
Until then, keep exploring, keep creating.
That wraps up our deep dive into 𝗧𝗓𝗄𝗧𝗓𝗓, a cyberpunk elegy of duality and desire.
We hope you enjoyed the journey.
And we hope it sparked your own creativity and got you thinking about the future of art and technology.
Until next time, keep those imaginations firing.
And keep diving deep.